Hello everyone, my name is Tero Pesonen. I'm TCCA Critical Communications Broadband Group Chair, and with me here is again Peter Schmitt, the 3GPP CT Chair, and we're gathering here after the plenary 110, which took place in Baltimore last week. Welcome, very much welcome, Peter.
Hello, Tero. Nice to meet you again here on this short summary of the last plenary, which was held in Baltimore.
Absolutely. Now it was the last plenary of this year, and plenty of things have taken place related to release 19, also related to 6G. How about in CT? What were the main things, and what would you like to highlight to us? I'd like to offer the floor to you, and let's discuss then after that.
Yeah, maybe I have prepared the short summary slides from the last week, because there were a number of things happened. Maybe it's also good to see this also a little bit on the screen and not only hear it via the audio. So this is a short summary, and I tried as usual to focus on the topics which might be of relevance for TCCA. As usual, I just give you some main things what we have done. So I like to show overseas meeting statistics what we had, and in this plenary the focus was also on the completion of release 19, and this is something you also see when you are looking at the documents. So in this meeting we had approximately agreed more than 1,000 CRs, and we have updated 6 work item descriptions. And regarding the release status, I would like to share that we had also some maintenance CRs on release 14, 16, 17, and 18. And for the older releases, we applied the criteria that it should be really a frequent and serious misoperation, that it should be agreed in an earlier release. And the major part of the work was on release 19. So out of these 1,000 CRs, close to 900 were on release 19 status. And we have aligned 3 work items to the current status of the work, and 9 TSs were sent for approval here, and some of them were also in the area of TCA. Coming to the TCA highlights, so the major part was this time. So what you can say is all the mission critical related work items are reported to be as completed. One issue which should be indicated is there was a work item MPS for IMS messaging and SMS services. This one we declared as completed, but here we had the tricky points that the supporting companies missed to perform a final check in the last quarter. So there may be coming some CRs out of this, but it's not clear if the supporting company of this work finds something, and if something is doing it. At least at the last plenary, nobody clearly indicated that they will do a detailed check. And this is also done again because also in SA we had a number of CRs. So in this next quarter, we ask again to check that the latest approvals from stage 2 last week and the latest approval from stage 3 are all in line. So this should be done in the next quarter before we really start the release 20 normative work. And one issue which might be also of interest is there was a study in CT4 on IMS disaster prevention and restoration enhancements. And this is now moved to release 20 because we could not finalize this study. The major part of this study is to look for a more stable IMS network by the means of reducing the chance of IMS accident and enhancing the IMS restoration mechanisms, which is in 23380. And this TR, which do all these and reflects all this study, is 29867, which is currently in version 040 available. You can find it if you look at the newest drafts on the 3 web page. And I also would like to give some indications that we had in the different working groups. We had also some first discussion on 6G aspects, and I just want to give you here highlights that you know and have an impression what might be the discussion on 6G in the CT working groups. So one discussion is if we should have a new NAS protocol. And the next thing is the network selection, which is always a big topic in CT1, how to do network selection in a new environment. And there are also a number of stage 2 topics in CT1. And all these stage 2 topics, there is a currently check if these things need to be specially studied for 6G or in a 6G environment. And there might be also other topics, but these are not currently identified. So these special topics might be, for example, the public warning system or SMS service and so on. Coming to CT3, in CT3, there were 2 topics on the table which were discussed. One was AI agent and AI framework in the 6G system. The next one is the network capability exposure in the 6G system. So CT3 has focused their work in the last couple of years on network capability exposure. And this is also something which needs to be studied in 6G. And here there's also then the major parts that we are checking here, that none of the features, or for some features, there are 2 solutions provided in 5G. And the intention is to analyze now as well if we could solve this in a way that we have in 6G only one solution for functionality. And then coming to CT4, here there might be some good things which you are also might be interested in. And one major part in their study in CT4 will be network resilience and network reliability. And other issues will be, as usual, user plane, the control plane, and the new functionality called the data plane. And we will see how this discussion will go on. At least none of these topics were agreed as a study item. They were all discussed. And the intention is to come to a common understanding and to approve something in Q1 2026. And that was all from the. And maybe as an additional summary, I can say we have declared the code freeze from CT perspective. So this means now the release 19 is also in a deep freeze state. And we will have now also a clear starting now to check that there are only backward incompatible changes done, and we also will start then to limit the changes to essential corrections. Not maybe in the first quarter, but in the second quarter this will start. And then we will try to limit the changes to release 19 and start the work on release 20, starting from Q1 onwards. That's this as a short summary. Try to make it short. Hopefully it was short enough for you. So back to Tero.
Thank you very much, Peter. And congratulations so deeply on the code freeze on release 19. Has been tremendous amount of work. As far as I understand now, no one can say that they could not start implementing. So we can go as a sector together and utilize release 19. It has a little plenty of capabilities for our sector. So thank you very much in CT in stage 3 for doing this work for us. Network selection you mentioned there obviously it is also very important for us as a service part. We have roaming cross nations where we need to maintain the mission critical capabilities. We have tactical networks, we have deployables, all of these things. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish you really good success with the network selection thing. Maybe from an educational point of view, could you maybe elaborate a little bit what's the differences now with the user plane, control plane, and the data plane, which is now proposed there, so
Yeah,
that our community understands what's the difference between these three?
yeah. Let's say in this way. So control plane is what we have currently as well. This is all the signaling what we are doing. So any kind of creates all these message what we are doing. Yeah, and this
So like a
is
call setup and
everything
registration
what we
and
need for call setup and
all
so
these
on,
things.
and everything what we need for example all these mobility services, all this message what we need to send there. This is done on the control plane.
Yes.
So the control plane prepares everything that we can establish the user plane.
Yes.
And the user plane is just the information which we are sending, the real data which is sent between the
So that's the content,
users.
basically.
Yeah.
That's the
That's really
content.
the content what we are sending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then what is this data plane? Because like content,
Yeah.
data, what is that?
Yeah. That's a starting point what we noted now, because we noted that the number of information which we have to transfer between nodes is drastically increasing.
Yes. Yes.
And for this, it might be good to have a separate protocol.
Okay.
At least
So,
this is currently the discussion if we should optimize something.
so
But I
would
have to
that
say,
be something in the backbone system, more
yes,
handling the traffic between different nodes and keeping the network itself
exactly.
intact, and not so much related to the subscriber. Is this a correct kind of
Yes, it's
understanding?
not related to subscribers. It's just to have in the backbone a lot of data exchanges. And we only noted this is drastically increasing. Yeah,
Uh,
that we exchange all this information, which is then needed by the different nodes to run the network in an optimized manner.
so
Yeah.
it sounds that from our perspective, for the topics of reliability, resilience, availability, this data plane might be one of those things that actually then take care of it in the network side.
Yeah, this could be one possibility. At least I cannot say much in the moment about it because the discussion has just started.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So that
as
is
you may
something.
have noticed, it's always tricky if something has started. You have some first impressions, and what comes really then on consensus might be something completely different. That's why I
But
try to be a little tweak on this.
in any case, it's definitely something that our community should pay attention to. And
Exactly.
hey, folks, this is a possibility to also influence. And we have the desires for the reliability, resilience, availability, capabilities to have very intelligent networks, as we see in CT4. There are these AI agents and so on. I suppose a bunch of the data plane information would be for those agents to do their job, for example.
Could be
And
one example,
hey,
yes.
maybe
Yeah.
we as a community should be active and bring in our desires and innovations in that area. Excellent. Looks very good. What is your forecast for next year? Like, what can we expect over the next year?
Okay, so that's why I try to make these short summary on the 6G studies.
Yes.
So for Q1 and Q2, the major part will be to discuss what we have to analyze in detail and do some forecasting what we need to be in advance. The tricky thing is that, for example, on these AI agent stuff, there is currently nowhere a protocol which we could use as a baseline. The tricky point here is really we have only proprietary protocols available. Yeah. So and this is really the point what will be the challenge when we need to do all these analyses next year. What might come up if we have all for these different possibilities a protocol what we can choose?
Yeah,
because
as
not, you know, a proprietary protocol.
You need to develop a protocol if there is not one. Yeah,
but this will be really a challenge. The point is, if we use, for example, a protocol from IETF, then this is used by IETF and a lot of other people.
Yes.
And all are these checking then this new protocol. If we develop something by our own, then we are the only ones who testing it and using it. So we have to find all our errors ourselves. If we adopt something, then others are helping us to find the initial errors. So that's why usually we prefer to adopt something, and not do only something when we do not find something. We have done this in the past. When you look at 2G and 3G, we had to use GDP as a transport layer for the user plane, because at that point in time, it was the only thing that was available. And in 4G, nobody want to change it. Nobody want to do an investment to change the user plane. So we remain at GDP1.
Yes.
Yeah. And also for when we started in 4G, this control of the user plane, when we had the split between control plane and user plane in the nodes. Also for this case, we only had proprietary protocols from somewhere else. So, and proprietary things, I can tell you, it's nothing what you want to use, because nobody knows how it's developing. So
there needs to be well, this is also obviously a base message of TCCA: stick to standards, because in standards there is a public place where things are developed, they are done together, they become available, they have a maintenance, they have a future life, all of those things, and that's definitely something we in TCCA want to promote, and hopefully indeed you can find proper protocols which are used by larger community than 3GPP, which is already rather large. And well, if not, then best of success in developing a new one.
Yeah,
but maybe then the others would like to adopt that one. Then who sees? Okay, excellent. So there are quite interesting things happening in 26. Marvelous things have happened during 25, like the release 19 completed. So I think with this, all I can say is thank you very much, Peter, for the update, and wish you some relaxing days now during the Christmas period and New Year, and looking forward to see you again in Fukuoka in March, and get an update what has happened in the meanwhile, and how does the rest of the year look after the first quarter.
Thank you, Thierry. And thanks for giving me the chance to share my opinions with you. And I hope that TCCA will be getting active when we're starting the 6G discussions, so that we also cover the requirements from TCCA clearly also in the future.
Thank you very much. And indeed, take this as a motivation, everyone, and make it as a promise, a New Year promise to invest in standards, because we are really dependent on those. So thank you all, and bye-bye for this time.
Bye-bye.